Welcome everyone. Welcome to the 128th One Nation, One Planet, One Race for World Peace for Tuesday, July 28th, 2020. This is a broadcast of the Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute Education Department and part of the Public Teachings in English. My name's Rick Crammond. I'll be a host today along with Mark, and our main presenters today, of course, will be the Universal Council. And I open the floor to the Universal Council for today's presentation. Do we have a member of the Universal Council ready to go for today? I see we're still getting people in here, so might be another minute.
Good morning, Rick. This is Aza. Do you have the slides?
Yes.
Most likely.
Yes, thank you, Rick. I'm also present. Oh, so shall I start?
Shubhata, you can start with the UC invitation, if you like. Yeah.
Your microphone's open, Shweta, but I don't hear you. I think Shweta,
Rick,
I think she had a bad connection or something.
I think something has happened. Okay, so I will speak about the UC and UC languages. What we need at this point, we have about more than 7,000 languages in the world, and then we put it out there that any soul that is ready to accept the position from any languages, they can step forward and take the position so they can be a bridge between the position of humanity now and then universal community. So at the point when we get to the one planet, one nation, one race, they're gonna guide us to that step. What is happening now, we have about, I'm not sure about how many languages we have now. We have also a couple of people who had to just leave because one of the regulation is once you get to 60, you can no longer take that position. So as Mr. Keshe was talking about, you can, the best is to serve about 20 years, and after that give your position to somebody with a fresh blood, again come to the position. So anybody who hear our voice now, or anybody who hear this program later, if you're ready and your soul is ready, you can become a UC member. But one of the most important rules is none of us can tell anybody else that you should become a UC member, because it's something that the person should know if they want to do it. Is not a job, is not something that you get a like a position like you just guiding, is not doesn't have any prestige or hierarchy, none of that. So your soul tries to connect with the soul of the language you're from, and then you connect all the souls together. And then that way, when you go to the round of the soul, you can actually, with that language, you speak into each other. Actually, that's a good way to guide. And it's not something that you have a higher priority in terms of the soul level even. But the only thing is your soul is ready to go and connect with all the soul in your language because you chose it, because you step into it. And that's very important, because once you step into it with your open heart and totality of giving, the minute you choose the position and you step into it, you just a magnet connect to all the one that you speak the language. So that's the beauty of it. And then when you do that, you think things start to happening in many different levels. You don't even try to do anything in a physical level, but you know, people show up, things happen, different things, different scenarios happen in your language, in your country, wherever it is. You see things that start to fire up, because at the soul level, they start to communicate, they start to guide, they start to lead, and take that nation or the language, the people, to the right direction, which is one planet, one nation, one race. And that's the one of the most beautiful things you can experience. Thank you. Rick, if you want to go to the next slide.
I see that Shweta is here now as well.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, hello Rick. I'm shut down for a while. I apologize. So I will start. With the global missions, and I'll start with welcome to Swagatam, Salam, Namaste, salute everybody, my dear ones, to the One Planet, One Nation, One Race. And the global missions, the visions of the global missions are: every man's reality starts with a vision, and by these visions, man will one step into one nation, one planet, one race, preparing mankind for the next step. Our global mission is to bring all the universal council visions to reality, and it is each man's responsibility to contribute their part into the version, which in turn, in totality, we will go to that level in one go. Slide, please. The 5 pillars: soul, ethos, service, and peace. The peace is our all, these pillars are all within us. We are the pillars, we are all the pillars, and our heart and soul must accept this stand totality that it was always, is in service for all, as the Creator loves all equally. These 5 pillars is the totality, is the only way, in the totality is the only way to elevate in a vertical stand-up, and a way the wise men use these words of elevation as ascension too. Now we can explain this ascension elevation process through the Keshe plasma science, Gans plasma science, always, forever. Next slide, please. Next slide. Education and teaching, the vision of education and teaching. Education and teaching is walking with the ethos of the Keshe Foundation and with the universal love of the Creator, is actually giving and receiving knowledge in totality, in peace and love to receive the knowledge. Peace is the most important pillar you have to stand up. Then every condition will be understandable in a crystal clarity. Our vision is that man expands the knowledge of the Creator and the creation through this planet and the spans of the universe. The full knowledge is freely available and known to be used and to be utilized by anyone. As service is one of the five Universal Council pillars, we learn, we teach, and we share with others. Every man is a teacher of the knowledge that comes within, and every man is a student of. Thank you. Thank you so much. Much, much love. Thank you.
Rick, can you go to the next slide, please? Resources and technologies. This is our vision about what is about to come about resources and technologies. A vision that follows the five pillars, which are soul, ethos, unity, service, and peace, sees the resources are an unlimited part of this planet and beyond. Technology is what man brings out of man's understanding of the law of universe and creation, and with it brings comfort, wealth, stability, peace, health, and joy to every man on this planet and beyond. Man uses fields of the universe for all his needs as man joins the universal community and opens up space travel. With a new understanding of the knowledge, man harnesses the resources in a way that all inhabitants of this planet, the planet itself, and other beings in the universe are safe. Thank you. If anybody was to talk about education and teaching, the vision, and then resource and technology, we can talk about it. Rick, you can go to the next slide, please. Invitation to join as UC or UC support. As I spoke before, how you can become a UC member, you can as well become a UC support. But before also you do that, you can read the UC charter and UC mandate. And as it says here, and as I spoke about it, you decide with your soul. And that position, Universal Council member can join the open language position, the same thing we talk about. And then you can go to the link that you see here and apply for it. Thank you. One of the things I want to talk about that I got the news today is the first book was published in Farsi in Iran and just came out today. And we're very excited about it. And the Farsi speaking language are very excited about it. And that was very important for all of us, and that everybody was asking for it and in Iran, and nobody had access to it, and everybody is very happy about it. So that's one of the good news that I can deliver today. Thank you.
Rick, can you click the link below? There's an application in the UC, Universal Council members for UC support members. This last link given. Keshe Foundation. Yes, about us given. Yes, this is the page. This is the Universal Council page. You can get all the messages, all the information from this page, everybody. Welcome, Suswagatam. And this is a beautiful message from the Creator. And you can go through the page, and as we are all universal energy, we can join together, hand in hand, elbow to elbow, to elevate, to bring the new age, the new cycle. I appeal, I call to the younger generation to join, as in your way, this is all present. You don't have to go through the pain and suffering. You just love to be in. Please welcome, welcome here. This is the application, and please fill it with your heart and soul. Elevate yourself, elevate many, many others with yourself, and join the universal community. Fill it and enjoy the happiness that is forever for everybody. Thank you, Rick. Thank you so much. If there anybody wants for any interaction or question, please, or want to share something, can share and ask questions also. Please do. Welcome.
Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, yes, Mr. Keshe.
It's got to be said that becoming a member of the Universal Council will become a duty for those who think they have within them to elevate the soul of the others at any point in their lives. Gradually, as we expand and as we start teaching about the universal community and understanding the totality, we got to understand it's not just being there a wish, being there when a sick person comes to you for help, somebody who is low in what we call the soul level and needs elevation. And in a way, in general, you become the source. As you give more, you receive more, and the elevation comes in that way. And it's a way of servitude and a pleasure to be able to raise the soul of another man, become the sun. As we said in the teaching of last week, the soul of the man is the sun, it's how it shines. And as we go through the teaching of these coming weeks, you will understand how mankind can elevate the soul of the totality, how as a human race, we become the sun, we become those rays which can change, bring the change. And in so many ways, mankind has been waiting for this elevation, but didn't know how and where. One of the points that we will discuss and the new designs of the new reactors, which is coming up, like what we did last week and next week, will show the elevation of the energy. When we say one drop, one life, what does it mean? It's not that with one drop you gain all the energy you need. It means with that drop, as is weaker than compared to the universal energy, brings all the energies you need towards you, the law of the plasma. the weak always get fed by the stronger. It's not that just because you took a drop from the cups, you fed yourself. It means that you become that dot, that energy which needs to be absorbed. Now you become the center to receive what you need. A lot of people thought that with one drop, you have all the things you want from it. In a way, with one drop, you become that insignificant source that it needs to be fed by the universe. And then you'll find out not only the physicality gets fed, but the soul of the man gets elevated. And this is something which I thought at the time when we were teaching, everybody thinks, oh, one drop has everything for it. No, you always have to remember when I teach from the essence of the creation, in what it really means, not what it shows. And gradually, knowledge seekers have to get used to this. So if you understood this, you understand there is a lot to be done, a lot to be understood, a lot to be comprehended, and there is a need for total comprehension of the knowledge of the plasma. As some people said in the past, the knowledge is complete, it's all been given. We haven't even given the beginning of the knowledge. We're just bringing human race to the level of the basic understanding of the work of the universal energies, which is the beginning of the sharing of the soul. And so when we start talking about one drop, one life, one cup, one life, with one cup, what we do, we brought to create that drop in the bigger drops. And in so many ways, we have to learn new ways. We have to learn new ethos. We have to learn new understanding. We need to be in a way
Sorry, Mr. Keshe, we lost that last part.
I said we need to have the understanding of the truth of what life brings for us, what life plans for us, to what extent we'll extend to understand more of the reality of the totality. And these are some of the points that us as a human race will battle with. We have to understand how much more we thought we understood from last Thursday. And if you understood last Thursday that one drop, one cup, one soul, you put everything mixed together in one container, and then you take one drop from it, which means whatever in essence, your soul, your physicality, your soul of physicality was short of indicates where I am. I need to be elevated. I need to be fed. I need to be in a position to be able to receive. And then in so many ways, we receive the energy which is for our soul from universal community, universal fields, plasmas. And in the teaching of this Thursday, we'll add another dimension, which for many years of the teaching, I've explained, and I have tried to explain in a more depth of where the mankind creates the beauty of, the absolute beauty of the creation. And we see that life is very much different when we get to this level. Our job, or I say my job as what I've accepted, is to make mankind to depend on the ocean of the fields of the universe and not on the physicality of this planet. And gradually, I'm reaching that point. As you get more elevated, you more understand, more of you come to be part of the knowledge. We all understand the creation is beautiful. Can we change in the time to come? What you imagine as a flower will become a flower. It takes physicality of itself. Because, as you always say, your wish is your command. You want to see beauty, and as your soul creates that beauty, brings that beauty to you, beauty of a woman, beauty of an eye, beauty of a man. We see the beauties, and with that we create the dimension of the soul of that beauty, which can lead to the creation of this physicality. It doesn't matter in what shape or form we decide to manifest ourselves. In a simple way, since last week, and actually since the week before, we entered mankind into the dimension of universal community without you knowing. The first tantalizing steps, the first putting the toe in the water and measuring the temperature, the beauty of it. And in so many ways, I have started in a very small steps, show you how to tap into universal energy, the cup, the soul of the man, the soul of the physicality, and bringing the soul of the planet, which gives the new dimension into the life of the man. I am the creator. I create what I wish. And with my creation, I see the beauty of the creator. And if mankind understands this, mankind will go one step further, one tiny step further to enter the dimension of the creator. But even that one step has so much beauty with it. As I said in the teaching of last week, we preempt to stop. We go for to let see and to let people know what they do. If you attended the Farsi class yesterday and the teaching last night, I especially went to show that the head of Iran University, the deputy of the university, was blocking us, bribes. The teaching was till 1 o'clock. And as our security in the background informed me directly, the ministers are online. Iran, head of universities, all have come online. Mr. Keshe, they're all here. Address the nation. And I address what I want, what we want. Wanted to bring Corona to an end in Iran. Heads of university called the Keshe Foundation, asking for an urgent meeting this morning at the university, which meant they were sitting exactly as our security informed us in the session. because we have become a power. And by this afternoon, a decision as part of the totality of the knowledge of the man. Our team has moved in, we have taken over a hospital directly, and 2 leading universities and institutes have taken part to be observer and partner, what we call reversal, because they cannot see. So now we become a national force in the health, but with the cover and protection of 2 leading universities in Iran. We achieved what we wanted, but we went for the soul of the man. And that soul is the understanding of a nation, of a humanity. And gradually you will understand how, as Keshe Foundation, will break into the government. We start governing on the basis of correct conduct. And this morning, when I woke up, the Keshe Foundation team were already in the university. They were waiting. They said they called us 12 o'clock to be here at 10 o'clock.
Sorry, Mr. Keshe, your line is breaking up there.
Government wants to make a decision for us. And one of the leading hospitals in Iran, and they're handing everything to Keshe Foundation from top to top. Can you hear me?
We can hear you now.
Me? Am I heard?
Now. There's a bandwidth thing.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Problem. Yes, but as I said last night when we started the preparation session, and from the minute I start talking, the officials joined the meeting. Officials wanted to be part of the meeting to see what we feel, what do we say, what is our
No sound, Mr. Keshe, no sound.
We can't hear you yet, Mr. Keshe. Still can't hear you. No, it's not coming through yet, Mr. Keshe. Oops, I think he dropped. Oh, he's coming back.
Is it open? Can you hear me now?
Yes, that's better.
Can you hear me?
Yes. No, the bandwidth is breaking up again. Still having trouble hearing you, Mr. Keshe. It's a bandwidth problem. Okay, well, bear with us a minute while we sort out our internet problems here. I think Mr. Keshe will be moving to a better location probably.
I can go over what's happening in Iran a little bit. A lot of hospitals, actually head of hospitals, they see how this plasma technology works, and they're asking the Keshe Foundation team to come and take over. And now we need manpower, make ganses, things like this. We need a lot of GANs, and more cities and more hospitals are getting want to get involved, and that's why it's happening there. And one of the reasons we also talking faster teaching. One of the main thing we were talking.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, Mr. Keshe. Yes.
Can you hear me?
Not very well. It's breaking up.
Hello.
And yes, hello. That's all I got. We don't hear you right now, Mr. Keshe.
Hello. Hello.
Hello. Yes. Yes, we hear you
Hello.
now.
Hello.
Yes, it sounds good.
Okay, can you hear me clearly?
Yes,
I have to stop because
it's
I'm
better
driving at the moment. Yes, so what I said, we always said governments respond. And we have become, as a knowledge seekers, a force with the soul of the man, which governments listen to, which creates a condition for them to the benefit of humanity. And in a way, what we saw happening last night is a repetition of what we've seen many times with different governments when we address them. And the beauty of it is that
Sorry, Mr. Keshe, we lost you at the beauty of it is that. Well, we lost the connection temporarily, but Mr. Keshe is trying to come back in, so bear with us. As Mr. Keshe said, he's on the road, so it's difficult for communication sometimes. Maybe Azar, maybe you'd like to continue for another minute?
Yes, Rick. So one of the most important thing we had in Iran was like one hospital in one of the state, we call it Ustan, was given to Dr. Asadi too, but Dr. Asadi is in Tehran, and then we didn't have enough ganses and enough people to know the knowledge enough to go there. And then one of the funny thing was talking about these two guys who get up in the morning at 6 in the morning, leave from the city, go to Tehran, go to that hospital, start 9 o'clock, and they work there until like 9 at night, and they leave, go back home, which is about 2 hours. And one of them was talking about that the nurses have the corona, so these guys are wrapping them with the towel and everything, with the ganses, and then these nurses are in ICU giving like IV things to other patients. So like it's crazy how they're working like around the clock because they have to take care of the nurses. And one of the cases was even the head of the hospital is sick, so they have to take care of him. So it's just like two people is trying to take care of the whole hospital. And so we're trying to find a system that when people come to the hospital, to the room, when they come in originally, they're still not in a bad shape. So we can create a system. So we create an outpatient system that we give them the instruction with the ganses, and we send them home rather than crowding the hospital, because it makes the situation much worse. And so this was, and then what is going to happen? This is not going. This is only going to be what you see in Iran is going to happen everywhere, because we're going to get to a point that suddenly a lot of people are interested. So we don't have enough GANs, or we don't have enough manpower to do it. So one of the important for all of us now is, as a knowledge seeker, to start making as much as GANs possible. And also, one of the thing we had, one of the point we had when somebody asked for the GANs, they wanted it, you just don't give it to them. Just teach them as well, because once we start just giving people GANs, they don't know how to do it. So it's going to become few people know how to make it, and so many people desire it. So we should teach everybody who wants the GANs how to make it. So they say, teach the man how to fish, just don't give him the fish. So these are the things I think we should take as experience that we have in Iran for, I think this is going to happen everywhere very soon. And we have to be prepared for such a thing once it happens.
As I see Mr. Keshe is back. Perhaps he
Okay,
can
thank
open
you.
his mic.
Can you hear me?
That sounds better, yes.
Yeah, because I'm driving in a mountain area. I just landed in the right place for it. The beauty of the whole thing, what was achieved in Iran yesterday, is the beauty of a nation demanding and receiving. And the most strangest way, as we said in the teaching yesterday, the most strangest way is all this in this hospital started with one nurse believing she wants to help. We had no one nurse started this process in this hospital. She brought ganses in her handbag that nobody can see. She brought ganses and rubbed on the patients and told the doctors, this is what I'm doing. It's just the water. And this is how it started, with one nurse, and believe in she can bring the change. And now this hospital with one nurse has become the center of Keshe Foundation activities, our work, and our dedication to serve. And as I said, it's amazing because if you remember, we showed a man who survived, and the woman next door to him, next bed, died to the same age. And this is the hospital. This is where he started, where the nurse took the initiative of believing and delivering. And now the whole nation has fallen behind her. And it's amazing how much one person, one woman can do. And I always said, this cycle is a cycle of women. And they'll bring the change in. They bring the change in because they care, and their caring comes with a lot of loving. And we will see huge changes, massive changes with the Keshe Foundation through women. And as I said yesterday in the teaching, all this because of one nurse. She's changing the course of a nation because of what she believes in. And in the coming time, how much, how far we will serve the nation and through it the other nations, we don't know. We really don't know. And it become the turning point. It becomes where we can bring the changes. It's the point where we might be bring more changes as it comes. I've asked the team in Iran to clean up the front, which means anybody comes in, trying to get out. Don't let people be coming to hospital. See them at the entrance, give them the gun, send them home. That we have, they don't infect more people at home. At the same time, they don't need to stay in hospital to become more critical. And thirdly, we can empty the hospital. I've given the Keshe Foundation 10 days to reduce the numbers from 90 people in one hospital to 9 or 10. You got to remember, they went in 3 days last week. 2 people died during the 3 days, but these people were already critically dead. They couldn't do much with. They were asked because there's an inspection to leave the hospital. They left the hospital for 3-4 days. 8 people died. The head of hospital said, I'm not standing. Let the ministers, whether it is, ask the Keshe Foundation team in. And we've been there 4 days. We had no death up to this moment. Not a single person has died since we took over 4 days ago. And this morning, they have given the whole hospital to Keshe Foundation. And this is one of the major hospitals in Iran, in Tehran. And all because of one nurse. I was talking to her, said, Mr. Keshe, I'm bringing everything I make at home at night, and in the morning I bring it in my handbag. And when they saw we saved the life of the guy with 2 children who was nearly dead, and the one next to it died, the doctor says, we go. We open. And the head of the hospital got to know. He says, we open. And now 2 universities. And this hospital is part of the Tehran major university hospital. So 2 major hospitals, part of the university hospital, have got together, supervised by the SEPA, with the military and religious people all sitting in it. They can't break it anymore. They cannot stop. And in the next, they've told us within the next 13 days, Keshe Foundation becomes official Corona force in Iran. Be implemented right across the country. They have made a special adjustment to be able to make this to happen. Just because we wished. And then you will see the next cycle from Thursday, how we'll feed you. How we'll feed you through the soul of the planet and not by the planet. Not by killing animals, but not destroying, but by bringing the soul of the planet that it can feed you. Exciting time has started and it's joyful. With a beautiful woman in the foundation, and everything else will change. Beautiful souls have arrived, and we are there all to serve. Thank you very much. I have to go. But I hope on Thursday you will learn more, that from now on you don't need to take life on this planet to feed but you feed through the energies of the universal planet of itself, that man stays innocent and does not commit a crime to kill. And that's the beginning of the change. The big change, what we've been waiting for. Not what was said, that technology is complete and knowledge is transferred. We just started transferring universal knowledge to mankind.
Can I ask a quick question, Mr. Keshe? Yvonne?
You always have a quick question.
I understand that 5G now has reached Iran. Does this affect the Keshe work?
What is 5G?
The telephone communication.
Oh, this is all nonsense. There is
No,
a
I'm
bandwidth.
asking, does it affect our work in way of
No,
transferring?
no. We transfer this technology across the planet. And 5G compared to universal fields is nothing. If you're afraid of this, you should never go into universe.
I didn't say I was afraid. I'm watching what's happening with it.
Yes, I know what's happening with it, but it is a combination of fields. And in the coming weeks, we teach you how to block it. Actually, not to block it, but use its energy to feed you, to support you.
That's what I thought.
Yes, but in time. But the problem is when you start using the 5G to feed yourself and create a condition, you can imagine what happened to the 5G powers and towers. They run out of energy because you're taking all of it.
Then they have to go a step higher.
Maybe we go to G9, as we said, with the Chinese. We are part of, now we started what we call the G6 and G7, as I promised. In a way, G6 is what we taught you last week.
So last week was G6.
In a way, yes, but you know, to go to G7, which is the food, you already had the health, which is that part of it with the soul. Now you have the food. Then you have the energy for what you need. And then we go to G9, which is a completion of the feeding of the man through universal community. This is the target which was set up by Chinese. But it will be implemented through Iran and through the teaching.
Thank you, Mr. Keshe.
Today, I, in communication with Iran, head of research and person responsible for Keshe Foundation and of Iran, we have agreed to develop the space technology of Iran unconditionally in conjunction with other nations. They asked for an NDA. I said the knowledge belongs to my nation. And in so many ways, as we say, my nation is one nation. Thank you very much. I've got to go. I'll leave you to elaborate and try to understand the teaching of last Thursday and how you can implement it for one nation, one planet, one race. That we can reach where we want to reach as a human race. Independent of enjoying the beauty of this planet, but not taking from this planet and not killing on this planet. And I hope for the first time, you understood the meaning of one drop, one life. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Keshe.
Yes, thanks to Mr. Keshe. And can now come back to our UC presentation, and who would like to carry on with that? We do have a hand up here, perhaps a question from Perry. Would the UC like to take a question?
Yes, yes, Rick.
Okay, Perry, your microphone is available there if you'd like to go ahead. You'll have to open your own microphone in order to speak, but your talking is permitted. Oh, go ahead there.
I'm sorry, Rick. I opened it by mistake.
Oh, you put your hand up by mistake?
Yeah,
Okay.
I had my phone in my pocket and my chest opened it. Sorry
Oh,
about that.
okay. All
Have
right,
a
no
good day,
questions.
everybody.
No questions while you're here? Okay, thank you. Does anyone else have a question for the Universal Council? Well, it looks like we don't have any questions right now. How would you like to proceed?
Well, can I say something, Rick? Hello?
Yes, it's not up to me. It's up to you to say.
Oh, thank you, Rick.
But
Thank you,
yes,
my
go
dear.
ahead.
I want to say that those who join the Universal Council, even in the Knowledge Seeker workshop, those who attend, those who want to join the Universal Support Team, they must go through the peace tree. If their soul elevates, the soul says, we are all universal soul, they must go through the World Peace Treaty, as signing it will be a great contribution to this universal energy. And then everybody must do that, I will say, because the peace treaty, the peacefulness is the most necessary thing. Because from eons, this, I will not call it even a civilization, the people of the mankind, the humanity is suffering. And the pain and suffering must not be there. Everything was available. There was everything available, but we were suppressed so much. And we also, we all believed in the system that was created. Well, I will say straightly, the parasites. And we forget the peace that was within us. And now even you can see in the tribal, in the tribes, in the rare location, in the tribes, they follow the community, the peace of the community. They follow the whole peaceful thing, and they share each other's knowledge, and they are knowledgeable, very much knowledgeable, as I know. So for me, as the new cycle is beginning, and the clear vision is the implementation of the plasma GANs technology of Keshe Foundation. And we have to walk with the ethos of the Keshe Foundation to be in clarity, to be clean. As the COVID-19 is affected more in the mutated form, uh, people who are very sick and with gruesome misconduct, people must understand, everybody must understand that this peace treaty is very much necessary for the leaders too, In India, where I live, in the state of Madhya Pradesh, the chief minister is now declared COVID positive. He was hiding. Now, because of the truthfulness of the universal law, he came out. Everybody is coming out like this. So I will say that I have posted the letter to the prime minister, to the president, and many others, but they haven't answered. But they should, as a leader, they should. Otherwise, we are also, as a leader, must accept the peacefulness of a body, of a soul body, of a mind body, of a soul of man, to sit together this time, because this is the only time we have. We have to be in this peacefulness so that we can understand all the volume of the universal love of the universal creator. So I appeal to everybody that you must go to the peace treaty as it was written beautifully. We all have to take our responsibilities now, as the leaders are showing no connection. Well, still we elevate their soul, but the peace treaty must be done. See the peace treaty, be in the peace treaty. It is written as you are in. It is the time for taking responsibility uh, within ourselves. This is the truth. As the ethos said, don't lie. We don't lie no more to ourselves. We don't go into the dense matter again. Matter is there, but we don't go into the matter anymore. We know what is within, the power within us. So this technology, this Keshe plasma technology, is just elevating what is needed to be done for the new cycle, as the new cycle will be uh, not like this. It will be not like this matter state. It will be a dimension that works on energy, and all the parasitic energy must go away. We must be clean with this plasma technology, or by elevating, because we are all the cup of life. We can do by yourself, by ourselves also. So I will insist to everybody, my dear ones, to see the peace treaty, sign it, or to read the peace roadmap. You can understand why this is very necessary for this time. So this is what I will say, because the technology is here, and walk with the ethos, walk with the Keshe Foundation, walk with the Messiah. You will get everything you need. Thank you so much, Rick. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Shweta. I was just looking on the site. It'd be nice to have the World Peace Treaty link right on the Universal Council site there. So that's something that can be added, perhaps.
Yes, that will be very, very good. Yes, indeed.
Yeah, so people can understand where they can find the peace treaty, because it's very, very important. I agree with what Sweta just said. So maybe it's a good idea to show where people can find it and how they can sign it.
Yeah, I'll bring that up here. Okay, this is the World Peace Treaty, and it's found on the Keshe Foundation site at keshe.foundation/about/WPT. WPT stands for World Peace Treaty. So keshe.foundation/about/WPT. /WPT. And as you can see here, it says, we or I as citizen or citizens of the earth from this moment on accept to lay down all tools of aggression and war. We/I shall never think about getting involved or incite war or develop or use any tools of war on this planet or in space. And to this, we and I all agree and swear with our or my, delete as appropriate, nation, territory, council, religion, city, town, body or bodies, and soul or souls. And it's a place for your name, signature, date, and position in behalf of nation, territory, council, religion, city, town, or individual. And a place for a witness. And it says, after signing this treaty, be proud to display this certificate wherever you consider being important to you, that everyone can see and know your ethos to fellow men and the mankind and other created beauties of the Creator.
Yes, Derek. I was proud and I was so joyful when I signed, because um, as a as a housewife, I say, as a daughter, as a I in this society, me type of people had somehow no position, you know. So I read the peace treaty, I found this is so simple. This because all the paperworks of the governments and the elites and all you can say are so complex. Even the book written of peace were so complex to understand. But this paper was so nice and thin and polite and beautiful that I firsthand I saw it, that this is so simple and so simple to sign. I can sign it. I can take the responsibility. I immediately signed it because this has given me the respect I need, the value I need, the love I need. And and everything started with that. So this is a simple paper ever made because of a peace treaty for a soul to sign it. So yes, there was the written thing, the display of proud. I displayed it I displayed it everywhere because I was so joyful that I have signed this peace treaty, and this is so simple to sign. And anybody of any position, of any with no position at all, sign it with a soul. And there were two witnesses standing with me at the time, and they signed it immediately. I told them, because they were not educated like that, but I told them, then are you ready to sign witness for me? Then they said, yes, of course we will sign. One have know to how to give a signature, and one woman who is an aged woman, don't know how to write. She gave her thumbprint into the witness statement. So that was the proudest moment. And and this peace treaty is very respectful to all soul. It is respectful to all soul, all from everywhere. And the long journey we done with the all the knowledge from the Keshe Foundation, and received the love of the universe, the Creator. Now we are in the step up for the new cycle, and this is all about this peace treaty and the peace road we attained. And for the younger generation, this is all, the table is served. All that is here, take what you need. This is so easy now. And this peace treaty is respect to every soul, is a respect, is a salute to, is a salam to every soul, I will say. Please sign it and join the peacefulness of the universal love. Thank you, Rick. This is my feelings I shared. If anybody want to share something, please do share. Thank you.
Yes, indeed. The World Peace, signing the World Peace Treaty is a prerequisite to doing work with the Keshe Foundation, basically. And it's something I did back in, looking at mine, I have it framed on the wall, March 5th of 2013, so over 7 years ago now. And it actually affected me by signing that. And, it's very specific, but as Shweta says, it's also very simple. It's just, just don't use tools of war, laying down all tools of aggression and war. What could be more simple to not be killing each other? It seems like a really basic fact that we should be done killing other humans on this planet. So but by agreeing to that, and of course the argument comes up, some people will have the argument, but I want to be able to defend my family. If somebody is attacking my home and my family, I want to be able to defend myself, and so on and so forth. Well, that's certainly a logical argument, to which there are several logical responses too, that there are ways of defending your home and making a situation, taking control of a situation without using weapons, first of all. And of course, we have that kind of technology that's been worked with within the Keshe, with the knowledge seekers, with this dome of protection and dome of peace that we work with. And there are other ways. However, once you get over that idea that I don't really need to use tools of aggression and war, and neither does my country when it comes right down to it, then you can see where you can agree to that inside yourself with your, basically it's agreement with your soul. And you can also agree in, as we see on the actual statement here, as a nation or a territory or a council or a religion, as a city, a town, as a body or bodies, and a soul or souls. So it gives lots of leeway as to whatever you think you have responsibility for and can claim to represent, then that can be part of the World Peace Treaty. Now I note we're having a hard time with getting actual countries to sign the World Peace Treaty, as most people know. Although the peace treaty has been signed on behalf of all the countries of the world. And that happened in one of our One Nation, One Planet, One Race presentations. And we did that, what was it, 2 years ago or so, I think. And we named representatives from each country, and they signed the World Peace Treaty and on behalf of their country. So in effect, all the countries of the world have been signed into the World Peace Treaty, but they're still the representatives of the governments are still slow, let's say, to give up their tools of aggression and war. Now, I do notice that we have had one nation at this point that did sign the World Peace Treaty. And that is the, I don't know if I can pronounce it properly, Eniyawa Nation, which is the Cherokee Nation of Indians, otherwise known as the Nation of the Cherokee in America. And they have actually signed the World Peace Treaty in July 24th of 2017. That'd be 3 years ago now. And at that time, you know, we got this nice peace treaty back with, it's got their seal on it, and the witnesses are the elders of that group, of the Eniyawa Nation, and they agreed to the World Peace Treaty. Now I'm thinking at that time, Mr. Keshe, his reasoning was he didn't want to accept anything other than from the government, the official government of an area. You know, what's normally taken to be the official government, and not the Aboriginal systems within that area. So I think that's been changed recently, though, and that the Aboriginal or Indian nations would be accepted as an actual nation within the World Peace Treaty. So that's something to think about. Perhaps the offer should go out to all the Aboriginal nations, and you know, it may be a good opening, a good sort of foot in the door for can I say, to sort of initiate the other governments to get on board. They see all the Aboriginal groups are binding together to sign this World Peace Treaty, to agree to non-aggression, then why wouldn't the governments? It sort of makes them look like, well, we can't sign it because we still believe in aggression. And that's starting to look old-fashioned. Anyway, that's it for me right now. I have to fix my monitor that just went black, and the live stream just has a problem right now seeing, so I need to do a little repair work here. So someone else take over, please. I don't see any questions from attendees, and I don't think we have any questions in the YouTube as well.
Thank you, Rick. Sweta, so for the Universal Council Supporter, because so step number 1, sign the peace treaty, and this it's something that is something that the more people sign it, the better it is. But as Rick just said now, we already kind of have the representative of each nation, so that signed the peace treaty. So this is very, very good. So as you were saying before, so there is the attachment in the Keshe Foundation website where people can apply also for the Universal Council Supporter. So I don't know, maybe we could, like you said before, no, show them the application. So
yes, I have the link was showed. The application was also showed before. I mean, in the starting of this presentation. So even now, everybody can go to the Universal Council page and can access the application. there's a link of the application. Yeah, they can access the application. Is this the question, Stefania?
Yes, exactly, yes.
Yes,
Because
yes.
I know it was showed, but a photo was shown briefly, and then I think Mr. Keshe came in, so I didn't know if it was finished or not. And also we should say as well that due the period we are now, because everyone in the Keshe Foundation is super busy. Once you apply for the Universal Council supporter, maybe there is some waiting time to don't get discouraged if they don't reply straight away. But because sometimes we just I think we should remind it because we're all volunteers. Sometimes takes time before we can reply. So don't straight away. So just keep in mind that maybe you have to kind of wait about the replying of the application.
Yes, yes, yes. This is the application, and yes, Stefania, you're right. As because of some process, it may take some time, but everybody has to have patience. Be patient, and they will be replying everybody soon. Those who are replying. So please have patience, wait for some time. There should be a balance that should be created for the interaction, and the answer will come. So Stefania, is that okay?
Yeah, perfect. Perfect,
Yeah,
yes.
okay. So this is the Universal Council form. uh, uh, fill it with your heart and soul, and go through the peace treaty 2, the mandate, and the soul charter. This is so beautiful. This time we we were, when we were growing up, we even, when that time I even not imagined, even in my imagination, then there will be a foundation of ethos of a creator. So please fill this form and have patience. They will be answering as soon as possible, because the balance should be created in the entire interaction, and they will be answering soon. Thank you, Stefania.
And maybe I can add one more thing, just for who is new. So we got the Universal Council supporter, and the knowledge seekers. So for anyone who is just start to know the Keshe Foundation, so and become they can apply to become student. Knowledge seekers. So same things, they will have to go to the website and see for education, and they can apply there. So this, they will have access to the archives and the old teaching. And I mean, now we're close for the summer, but when the teaching will start in September, they will be able to attend the classes, private classes. And this will be very useful because you will have access to all the teachings, and you just make a donation to become a student. So the Universal Council supporter. So for example, in this way, we done this because because we create in here one platform where we can all working together. So so in this way, we have all the chain from of support from that can go from the Universal Council to the down to the knowledge seeker and the people who just arrived, and the vice versa. So you will have another flow from the who just arrive and they want to become knowledge seekers. So in this way, we have all the steps to then arrive from the knowledge seeker to the Universal Council. So the knowledge seekers will get organized, and then will report and will also be supported from the Universal Council supporter, and the Universal Council supporter will be the communication between the knowledge seekers and the Universal Council. So we got a flow of communication, backwards and forwards. So we can all connect in and work together as one. Yeah.
Yes,
You
of
want
course.
to say anything, Sweta?
No, no, no. You are saying so beautiful. Please continue, please.
So in this way, we open up this communication. And of course, as we said before, there is no hierarchy. So we're all working together at the same level. And also, if you decide to become Universal Council, you are like a vassal. So it's not so much about you. It's about you, where you feel like your soul wants to be a catalyst of this position. But of course, if for any present time you think you're not anymore the right person, someone else can take over. So that's why it's important to say that whatever position you take is not you become that position. It's just you're just a catalyst for that place, until you think you are right for that place. And then the moment you think you are not right, you can only step down and someone can step in. But in this way, we keep in the flow of communication from the humankind to the universal community, and from the universe up to the creator, and from the creator to the humankind. So we have this flow going. Yeah, I just wanted to say this. Thank you. Is anyone has got any question about they would like to be answered of about the Universal Council supporter or Universal Council? So please, you can ask now if you have any question, if you want to know more about this position.
Okay, if no one has any question, I just want to add something here. When Mr. Keshe was talking about you take a drop of the cup, and then it's not that, I mean, some people think the more is better. But actually, if we remember the teaching, always the stronger gives to the weaker. So when you get a drop, that drop representative of less. So the more comes from the universe toward that less. So even as a human, the less we become, that we think of ourselves, and not so much, because most of us think of ourselves as a big, we are big, we try to even make ourselves bigger than what we are. But if we become really, really, really small, that's the time we can manifest even more, because more comes to us as we become less, with more grace, with more gratitude, with humbleness, with devotion. And that's what we get. And actually, something came to me the other day, which was, it was like a moment for me. It was about, we talk about love. And then, when I look at it, I see, you see, like we have love, we think about love. When you look at it as we have fear, we have jealousy, we have anger. And when we look at love, we put it on the same category of other definitions we have, but actually is not. If I give you an analogy of that, is like if you have a convention oven or something like this, you have a thermostat, it says bake, broil, roast. And if you look at this as a thermostat, as a point, it says love, it says anger, it says jealousy, it says fear. But in a minute you put it on love, actually encircles everything. It's not in the same category. And then one of the biggest mistake we had, when also Mr. Keshe talks about love, when we become love, and we, even in any relationship, when you look at love, when you become it, it's the only way it can really magnify is like a sun. Actually, love is a sun. It actually changes everything. Changes the whole your environment, the whole life. Because most of us, when we even love something, it doesn't matter if we love someone, if we love an object, or we love a flower, we always want to contain it, put it in something, or have it, or belong to me, ownership. Because this is one of the character of a human being, that we want to have it. But if we let it be free, that love that you have, if you don't try to, because the minute we try to contain love or put territory around it, actually it takes you to your death. That's what it is. When you love, you have to let it just flow, let it be, and just be in it. Just be it, as if you are in a meadow, like glass. If you let it be, it grows like a weed. It just goes. It just keep going and going and going. Actually, expand the whole universe, because you don't try to hold it or have ownership over it. And with that, we can elevate a lot, because once you encompass that, you encirculate that, like that love you have, then you don't have, all the other stuff in your vocabulary, like fear, jealousy. And actually, I found that something so beautiful the other day that I couldn't believe it. I was doing meditation and I realized every single thought we have, it has such a magnetical field on our body that we don't realize. With every thought, we're creating our world, and we're so oblivious to what we're doing with the thought we have. If you close your eyes for a moment and just take a deep breath and just bring the word gratitude, just bring one word to your mind, just look at it. The minute you do it, you see your whole heart start to vibrate, it start to shoot up to your brain, and all these things happen. And I said to myself, my God, one word, just bring the thought of one word, the feeling come to the body is tremendous. So, and then I said, my God, so all the other thoughts we have, it has so much impact, not only on ourselves, but also on people around us, on the whole humanity, because everything is a magnetic field. And we have to, the minute actually we empty ourselves from all the other worlds, and actually humanity in time is not going to have any dictionary, because we don't need any dictionary, because all it is just simply love. Even if you bring that love to everything else, like when you even think about resources, the technology, because we are the resource, we are the technology. Because when everything comes from the universe, field of universe, why do you need even resources? You don't touch the resources, you don't touch anything. They're coming like tons of resources on this planet, but do we need it? But this is the fact. Actually, we drowning us. Actually, humanity. When I think about it, I think that the most. Actually, it makes me laugh. We are the most stupidest entity ever existed in a cosmos, because we can have so much beyond our imagination. But we are, you know, like somebody want to give you a party with tons of food in it, but you look and go for the crumbs. You're happy with having crumbs. That's what we became, because we are so closed off, really off. Because if you bring that sensation of love, I mean, you get up, actually you feel it, you can salivate with it. And then the life becomes just like so beautiful. It doesn't relate to anything that you have, not have, or where you live, or what you eat. None of that. It's just a sensation, because we just like one word brings so much sensation in the body and just makes so many different things happen to you. And then on top of it, when you bring that sensation, things start to change around you, and you say to yourself, what is happening? Why these things show up in my life? Because you change the sensation in your body in a way that no longer you're going to draw the things that you were drawn into yourself before, because the field has changed. And each of us, if we keep doing this, I mean, the whole planet is going to change so magnificently. It's just unbelievable, because the things I'm experiencing is beyond even my imagination. Like right now I keep walking and I try to bring every time one word in my mind, and just think about one word, just grace. What is the vibration in my body? What's the grace means? How can I come to it? So this is something I just wanted to share, because I thought yesterday this was so beautiful. Like when you let something go, like don't control it, don't try to contain it, don't like own it, don't have ownership. We lose those feelings, we lose all those things that we learn. Things gonna change so drastically for us. Thank you.
Hello. Oh, are you hearing me?
Yes, we hear you, Marinus. Go ahead. Did you want to speak, Marinus? Your microphone's not open right now. Okay, I note that in the YouTube, there is a question. Let's see, first of all, there's a comment from, it's in a language, it looks like sort of like Chinese, but I don't think it is. From Halanku and Taibun.
Chérie, je vais parler. Non.
Hello, Marinez? Marinez, your microphone is open.
Ne fais pas mauvaise.
I think you have to control your microphone there, Marinez. As I was saying, someone named Halank U Taibun says, I asked to join in my language about a month ago, and I confirmed if they filled out the form on the UC page, and they said yes, the purple one. And so apparently there's a new language that's been applied for there. So that's something to look out for the UC folks. And also We had a comment from, just going to go back here, from Barbara. Barbara says, I would have loved to be part of the Universal Council. I turned 61 yesterday, so I do not qualify for this anymore. So I wrote to her back in the chat that you can still be a Universal Council support member at any age. And it's only the main Universal Council member for a language that needs to be under 60 years old. So she wrote back, thank you for the information. I'll be more than happy to be a UC supporter. So we have a new language and a new supporter coming through from the YouTube channel, it looks like.
This is Barbara. Welcome, Barbara. Welcome. Thank you. Thank you.
Excuse me for the noise. I was just trying to tell anybody to be silent. I have a question from Stefania, if it is possible. I wanted to, because
Yes.
she was talking about and then hierarchy in UC until it goes to supreme being. Could you explain a little bit about this, if it's possible? Or is it your own feeling, or is it that you learned it somewhere?
I didn't understand the question properly. So
You were saying we are. You were saying that we are all one. There's no hierarchy, and then we go to this, and then to relation with the supreme being. That's what I understood. I thought. No.
What I meant was that so what I meant the reason why we have universal council supporter, knowledge seekers. So it's just like a thread, so of a line of communication. So as we are all one, and here we start to build up like a concept that we are all equal, or part of the same nation, we're all working as one. So, and what we're teaching here now is not just up for the earth, but also goes beyond. It's going beyond the universe, the unicos, up to the creator. So there is a line of communication from the creator to earth, and from earth to the creators. So I would just try to explain how what does it mean becoming universal council supporter? What does it mean being a knowledge seekers? And what does it mean be a universal council? So we just all part of this bigger picture in order to then going beyond to the universal community. So it's just a different, we're just starting a new era and different way of working together. So it's not that one is higher than the lower, but if you are, for example, I'm Universal Council for the Italian language right now. And of course, I'm part of the Italian emergency groups. I'm part of the Italian public teaching. So, but I cannot do all on my own. So I got a Universal Council supporter. Like, for example, I have really, really great Universal Council supporter. You know, for example, like Ivo and Lara. Without them, I would not be able to do everything. So they support me 100% and beyond. And same things, most of the Italian knowledge seeker, they would love to, they actually some of them already apply, other of them they will apply to become universal cancer supporters. So all together, we can be part of this change, because they feel it like I do feel it, that it's something that we want to do as a part of our life, you know, so we feel drawn to these positions. In this way, because there are universal cancer supporters, they, for example, in the Italian group, they are the one who organized the region. So we divided Italy, because Italy has got many regions. So Lara, for example, as a universal cancer supporter, she made many groups of all the regions. She divided Italy in different regions and make those groups. And she supervised this group, but also we are, some of the knowledge seekers, they also, for example, what we did, we divided different skills. So some people, they will help her to keep an eye on so you will have like someone who is ahead of each groups. And then we'll have some of them who help me with the translation. Other one will help me with the transcribes, because if you want to spread as quickly as you can to as many people as you can the knowledge that we learn freely, so you want to teach to others, you need to the best things is translate in the language that that is your language, so everyone will be able to understand and it will be spread easier. So we just divided between all the knowledge seeker who they come across the Keshe Foundation, and this goes online with their ethos, with their belief. They sign the peace treaty first, and then so their soul is kind of committed. So they take in position, and then whatever they can do best. So some of them are really good with computers. So we're thinking to do like some Italian videos. So each one of you will have some skill or something that you think would be useful to make this vision become a reality. Be part of it, be part of this transition. So in this line, I meant that from people who just step into the foundation, they are through knowledge seeker, universal cancer supporter, universal cancer. Then you go all the step of communication through space, because this is what we want to do now. We want to go into space technology, learn how the space work. So we have to stay connected up to the creator and have a line of communication that goes forward. Yeah. So that's why it's important that we have to have the 5 pillar and the ethos, so we can communicate in the same line with the universal community. Because in the universal community, there is no crime, there is no injustice, everyone is equal. So we try to now gain level with all this. And like Mr. Keshe just said just now, we already enter the universal community. We already step into that to that. So yeah. So I don't know if I answer your question.
It was beautiful. Thank you for your efforts. But at the same time, I think Horan says that God is closer to you than the vein on your neck. I think God is, according to what I learned, God is the closest to us, but it's us probably who don't know it. You just have to open the eye. And I think what as I was saying is the difference between unconditional love and love. Because sometimes we love because it's protects us, it gives us what we need. And a very rare occasion happens that the real love touches people. I call it plasmatic love because it just happens and nothing can be done against it. And for this, that's unconditional. Means we want everything for the other one, even though against our interests. And I think that's the feeling which then we can feel love of God a little bit, not love of God, but that unconditional love, which is really not for us, but for the good of that person. We want everything, is something which takes us to another dimension sometimes. Probably like some Sufis, some poets in Iran, Rumi has felt that love because they all talk about love and things like that. So I wish you unconditional love, which when it comes, everything is empty. There is nothing, emptiness. And so thank you very much for all the hard work you do. And
I would say that actually, I would say you know, when you just said the unconditional love is not just for us but everybody else. I think it's actually both, like, because you cannot steal from your own self. People make the usual mistake I made many times in the past, where unconditional love, it doesn't mean nothing for you or for everybody else, because then you're stealing from your own self. I don't say you said that, but you just remind me a mistake that I always do. And for me, it's important to point it out, because so maybe other people, maybe they're doing the same things, they can think about that. It's like unconditional love has to be towards you and towards others. You cannot steal from your own self. So that's why it's important that you have everything you need and you get rid of what you don't need. And once you fill up your cup, and then you can give. So you cannot love others, or you cannot love unconditional others, if you don't love unconditionally yourself first. And I think sometimes can be the most challenging things, because it's very easy to, actually, I found more easy to give to others than give to myself, or do things for others than do things for myself. And sometimes this gives you an illusion that you have unconditional love, but actually create a little bit more problem, because you're stealing from yourself, still you don't follow how the universe works. And then you go into trouble because you give more than you should. And so therefore you're stealing from yourself. And then you're at the point where you're not going to be able to help you, you're going to be able to help others. And they get a little bit frustrated. So it's very important to understand that you need to learn who you are. And you know, the usual step that there is in every self-discovery, where you have to learn who you are in order to understand what you really need, what you really don't need, and start this process very simply in daily life. And then from there, you fill up your own cup, because you will understand what you actually really need and what you don't need. And then from there, then you're going to be able to also serve others. And that I see as unconditional love for you and for everybody. So, but most important, cannot come if you don't know how to love yourself first, unconditionally. Yes, I just wanted to point this.
thank you, a lot of wisdom. Thank you, Dee. Thank you very much. I notice how you have changed also how you are getting, to me, it seems like you're getting wisdom, more and more wisdom every time. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. I actually feel like definitely be part of the Universal Council and be part of the Keshe Foundation. You definitely need to do, we all need, I mean, this is what I found, where we're growing together. There is this growing together that we're doing, and also this growing that you're doing with your own self. So I'm just learning. I'm just learning. But I feel like we all, exactly what Mr. Keshe said, we all gradually gain this knowledge, and we definitely, since the pandemic, we all growing much faster every day. So I see that we all actually, we gain knowledge and we progress. I see this with all of us. Yeah.
Thank you very much. I have a question also, excuse me. It's not related to the subject. For the prevention, we have to look at Wiki, because I thought the prevention had changed from before. Prevention from COVID. No? Like before we had to, before going, we had to put the tool upper part and down. And I heard that it has changed, right? For protection, no?
No, Mehrnaz. Hello, salam, namaste.
Hello.
No, hello. It's so beautiful to hear you always. I will say the cups are the same. There are levels that are changing. I mean, the one cup, one life is still is the prevention, cure, and detection. I mean, eradication and detection. And the second cup is all as important as it was. And in the level of the energies, the cups are more cups are added to make the plasma universal, uh, universal. You can use the same cups. First of all, we have to understand that we have to go step by step, from the one cup to the second cup, and it is now and forever. And then for elevation, even from the for after the cleansing and eradication, the elevation goes from the soul of the earth to the soul of the universe, and it goes through our own self, our soul, our physical soul, and soul of man. So every cup is important. Every cup, the cup made first when the Wuhan virus, the coronavirus appeared in Wuhan, and in the new age, the new cycle, when this technology is working with all the energies, only the energies, as the food is in one drop, as the love is in one drop, as everything is one drop if you need. That is the way it is elevating. The cups are adding. As we have energy levels, though, we all have that. In we say in India the chakras, the energy chakras. So these cup are the chakras, with all the energies elevating one by one. We elevate the chakras. We elevate the chakras from the root chakra, from the ground chakra to the root chakra, and then throw them to the universal chakra. So this is how the cups are doing. So what you have to do is always made all the cups. Start if you have the one cup, one life, use it. I'm using it, and I have what I can say in this matter state. We can say magic. It is magically happening everything. So every cup is essential. As it was then, it will be, and it is. So Mehrnaz, you have to just, yeah, I haven't even and the truth, I only made the one cup, one life, and the second cup. I don't even made the soul of man cup. So I have to do that. I have to make the soul of man cup, or now I have to make the 2 cup more or 3 cup more. I will do that. But then we are also the cups. We are elevating ourselves with it, like the two kings or the two queens joined together with the power of love. This is how it happens, you know.
Yeah.
Even somebody is making the cup of uh, cup of everything, and he's not, the intention is not like that. He's only making it in physicality, but it doesn't work in like that. So it will not interact. So interaction of the intention of the person doing it is very necessary. So every cup is a volume of love, kindness, everything you can imagine that is good of this universal love. So this is how the cups work. Thank you, Mehnaz.
Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you.
Okay, we did have a hand up with Alvaro earlier. Did you still want to speak, Alvaro? I see your
He had a
microphone's
question. He had a question in the Q&A.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's a really good question, actually. Mentions that he's signed the UC support form, but he has a consideration as a police officer living in one of the most violent places in the world and have to carry a gun 24/7. Can I sign the peace treaty? Wow, what a great question.
Yes, you can sign the peace treaty. That is physicality. My dear, that is physicality. But carrying a gun doesn't mean that you are not peaceful. You don't want peace. You want peace, and you don't want to use that gun. Is it right? Am I right? You don't want to use that gun. That is more truth. That is the more soulful thing. You can sign the peace treaty. You won't need the gun anymore. That is the detachment we are having now. As we see the Sufis detaching, as we see the sadhus detaching. Now we became all like that, depleting that we don't need. Do sign the peace treaty, my dear. Thank you. Thank you.
He says, thanks very much, you are right. And also adds, like a holy warrior. That's a good way to look at it, perhaps.
Yes, like a holy warrior. Yes, indeed, of course. That is the beauty. Yes.
Like someone has to try to keep the peace in these violent places of the world. And you can imagine in the most violent places of the world, if you don't have a gun, then people may not respect you and want to take advantage of you or something. Or if you're trying to make peace between violent groups or violent people, then, there's what is the position of carrying a weapon and all of that? It's an interesting question.
It's Doug here from Australia, and I've worked with and associated with many police officers, and very few actually pull the weapon, the Glock pistol or the gun out, and and even pointed at a person, they you know, they simply haven't been confronted with that. And if the intention is to diffuse a situation without having to resort to pulling out a weapon and threatening in that way, or you know, controlling in that way, then it is possible through the intention to never have to do that. That, you know, that's my thought anyway. It doesn't mean you are not carrying a physical weapon, but you know, it's not necessary that you actually have to draw that weapon out, and even holding it out is not necessarily discharging a bullet. You know, it can be used in a way to diffuse, and as I think Rick just said, it's a mark of certain mark of respect that you know, you're carrying that just to show a sign of authority, but not necessarily firing it off at the drop of a hat, or unprofessionally, as they say, through some anger. It isn't necessary. Thank you.
It comes to my mind that the guns of the future will be GANs guns, not guns with bullets. And to diffuse the situation, you simply bring out your GANs gun and spray the afflicted people with your GAN spray, and they instantly become happier and start cooperating with each other, and end up, you know, the best of friends at the end of the argument, perhaps.
We do that with our spraying of GANs. You know, it can, the spray bottle could be in the form of a water pistol, and
well, absolutely.
It's a good idea, isn't it?
Yeah, and some of them are pretty long distance now too, so you could probably disarm a wild animal at a long distance by just a squirt gun, perhaps. And maybe with the right GANs combination, that could actually be possible, quite literally, to stop an animal in its tracks and divert it from its mission to do harm. And humans are just basically animals of one kind or another, so especially when in that violent mode. But if you know, if you can control that with zinc oxide, or the CO2 GANs waters, then perhaps there's a GANs vapor that would be 1,000 times more potent, say. And your vapor gun as a official peace officer, that's what they're actually called, is a peace officer. And maybe in the future, they will actually be officers of the peace and actually bring peace in that sense, you know, supplying these people with what they need to prevent that misunderstanding leading to anger and whatever conflict is happening, and violence and so on. So definitely there's grounds for consideration there as a new form of technology, that instead of having guns, I mean, guns are really kind of a silly way to stop someone in today's world. There's at least, I could think of 100 other ways you could stop someone that are without killing them. That is not a gun. And all of those ways are available to our peace officers if they were to so choose. But yet guns become the instrument of choice because it has been for hundreds of years, basically. It's a habit. But our habits will change. Shibani says in the Q&A, my glasses on here. Hello, everybody. We have everything we need in the universe. If you know how to target an object, if someone needs help, just fix and send fields that he needs and he gets it 1 second. Anyway, thanks, peace and love. So again, maybe that's one of the modes of the future peacekeepers is to target an object that needs help. You send the fields that they need and they get it in 1 second. Done deal. Mark has a funny comment in the chat here, which I must read. You spray the perpetrator, or say a robber, then he opens his wallet and donates to you. You spray the robber and he opens his wallet and donates to you. That's funny.
Yes, I have also read that. That is so funny. Yes. Mark, thank you.
You could have an exploding wallet that explodes in GANs, and whoever
GANs.
steals your wallet gets sprayed in GANs and then ends up putting money in your wallet and giving it back to you. Right.
Yeah.
But this is why we spray every Sunday 12 and 6 to make this plasma dome. So by spraying everywhere, we can raise the fields where abundance for everyone.
Yeah, could you say a little more about that? It's on what times on Sunday? It's at what, noon at Central European time and 6 p.m. Central European time?
Yes, we set, I think started it was idea starting from the Brazilian knowledge seekers. That is a brilliant idea where we pick up 1 day a week, Sunday, at the times you just said, 12 European time and 6 European time, where everyone we connecting together and we all spray plasma water around the environment with the intention to create condition for the change. So if we change the environment and we spread in guns all over the world, because we know that they're all connected with each other. So anyone who does a cup of life, once they made it, their cup is connected with another cup, wherever it is. And we also have guns inside us, so we already connected as well. So we also connecting through our soul, and so we try to saturate in the earth with these plasma fields. And so in this way, we're creating condition to, like Mr. Keshe said, G5, nothing. We go G6, G7, we go G8 and 9. So when we spray each one of us all over the world, and we're already many of us, the guns, or we just connect mentally because we got guns inside us. So if we take one step further and we not look the guns, if we just go into the plasma fields, you know, we've been connected just with the thought, with the intention. So in this way, G5 or G4 or viruses or whatever there is out there who can be harmful, to the body, to the humankind, or even pollution, because we not just have solution for the G5 or the coronavirus, but this is a solution also for the whole environment. That it's very important. We just taking too far with the pollution. Speak about the ocean. So by spraying this, it's like if we're doing from Earth, if we like the chemtrail doing from the plane, we're doing from Earth with the spray by using the guns of Cap 1 and Cap 2. I don't know now if you're gonna use the guns of Cap 3, but this way, so in this way, we make it like a grid that will cover. The intention is to change the fields of the whole Earth. And this will have a ripple effect in the universe and cosmos, and as far as the creator. So, and this will create condition for us to elevate in faster. And as Mr. Keshe said, we're going to start to gathering knowledge. We're going to start to be, actually, we already be part of the universal community. So that's why we decided to do one day where consciously we do this. So I invite you, any of you that listening and that has produced some ganses of cup number 1 and cup number 2, and to use them on every day, but also Sunday on those times. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, Stefania. I see Mario has his hand up here, and like to hear from him.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, hi, Rick. Thank you. I was thinking about the police officer thing, and it seemed like everybody was touching on it, but it was maybe a little perspective that, to me, because I grew up in the U.S. and actually, as a jazz musician, I played with black guys and in black areas, pretty predominantly. It's pretty racist still. I think there's a reason. It's a long-term reason why some parts of some cities are violent. Some cities are more violent than others, and always there's violent particular places in each city, and where there is violence and others where there's very little. And it's those things, the long-term conditions. Why are there violence in those places? So for the police to just, when a guy starts shooting at him, to spray gas water, well, it's too late at that point, because the gas water is not going to stop those bullets. And the police is going to have to do what he has to do. But on his day off, or while he's working even, to contact people, talk to people in the area, try to change the long-term conditions with this technology. Bring feeding stations in there, bring food gases into these people, bring in the gas waters, show people the technology, little by little over a period of time. The conditions have to change. So long as those conditions are the same, the violence stays, right? I think it's, I just wanted to put that perspective in. Yeah.
This is Mario, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Salam, namaste, Mario. I will say,
I'm not hearing anything.
Yeah, your microphone cut
hello?
out there. Yeah, we hear you now.
Can you? Okay. I want to say that the gun, in physicality, the policeman holds a gun because of the physical protection. Now the chaos is always there, but through the soul he wants to sign the peace treaty. But Mario, in India or in many countries where these Greco-Roman people have rushed and destroyed everything, without guns and without any weapon, they killed, simply changing the social paradigm. Millions and millions of people, that.
Sure.
So the people have made their mind, you know, you have heard about the Stockholm syndrome, how people listen to a bad father all his age and be like that. The where I live, people are like that, you know. They don't want to look at me sometimes. How can we I do? I tell them that there is a knowledge. You can save your children, you can save yourself. They have become savages. They don't know. There is no knowledge. You have seen the zombies with the black eyes? They have no soul left. So these, without gun, these people, in the name of Mahatma, Guru, what you will tell? They have killed millions from yawns. So this is how things happen, and this is how society is working. If I am trying to go. I am trying to go with two people, but I am not allowed to go. Here in India, there are, in USA, there are racism. Here in India, come and see how racism works and how torturable that is. Deep, deep ditch. How can I continue that? So I wish, because we are working on an energy level, a drop. I wish for all. As somebody in a soul meeting, or I really can't remember, was telling about charity, giving. So giving in the physicality is not workable anymore. Like this, giving food, giving because we have done this. But now, from a wish, from the heart and soul, we can give this drop anywhere, any form. So we have to approach like that with the energy. Because in many, if there is a 80-year-old woman or man sitting alone in a house, children had left and everything has gone, how could he make this cup? Then from here, I can tell her how to elevate her soul, how to be a universal being. Maybe she doesn't know. She doesn't even may have to make the cups. So this is how I am doing my work here. So the gun is an physical thing. Without the gun, they have killed millions. Those killers are still roaming around. You know, Mario?
Well, yeah, I totally agree. And it's not about the gun. I think that's what I was saying about the police officer.
Yeah.
If he's a police officer, that's his job. His family depends on him working, had a career. You can't just tell him tomorrow, don't bring your gun to work. I mean, he has to wear it. He has to wear it. He has to do what he has to do. But a long-term solution has to be taken into consideration. A long-term solution of changing the conditions of the people's lives. Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
yes.
Thailand, they have a caste system here too, but it's much simpler and it's not as, well, I don't want to use.
Yes.
It's
Yes,
not as
I
brutal as it is in India. It's not as brutal. You know, this Buddhist thing.
It is brutal here. It is very brutal. Without any weapons, without simply saying, chanting, they can kill anybody.
Yeah.
The policeman has made a wish to sign the peace treaty. That is the elevation for many.
Yeah. And as long as, but it's up to him to not be a corrupt cop. He can't be a corrupt cop. He has to not participate in that aspect of it, and using his soul, or even, you know, pouring gas waters and whatever, you know, talk to the people, show them, you know, anything he can do. But you're right, his soul is the most important thing in him living a correct life, even if he has to wear the gun. You can't change that in a day, can you?
Yeah.
Like this nurse, like the nurse.
Let me bring up one point, because I wanted to bring up a comment that Doug said earlier that ties in with this. And it's true, I think, which is when you sign that World Peace Treaty, everything changes. Okay. And you might think it's just signing something. It's like when you get married, it's just a piece of paper, but believe me, everything changes. So when Doug says in the comments, no one has come to my door with aggression or threatening attitudes since we signed the World Peace Treaty back in 2013. signing also opened up huge opportunities of service to the Keshe Foundation for me since then. What he's saying is just that act of signing the World Peace Treaty could end up affecting your environment. And perhaps for that police officer, even though he's in one of the most violent, threatening places of the planet, perhaps the act of signing the peace treaty alone might change his environment such that those he runs into are no longer so threatening or aggressive, and perhaps it can be diffused easier just because something changes. And when we change ourselves, the entire universe changes to accommodate to us. So it's an interesting point there. And the other thing I would like to say is soon, if not already, we will have defensive weapons that basically deactivate the gunpowder in bullets. So you'll no longer be threatened by those who have guns around you in a threatening situation. You turn on the defense beam, and as Mr. Keshe has indicated in the past several times, that gunpowder can be turned into food instead of something that activates a bullet to come out of a gun. So something to think about there too.
And plus, Rick, I think also connected with what Mr. Keshe said, because, for example, Mario really brought up a very good point in the sense that there is so much we can do, each one of us, with our daily life. Or like Mr. Keshe brought up this example of this nurse. One nurse changed the course of Iran, if you want to bring it back to where it started, you know. So there is so much each one of us can do. And Mr. Keshe said many times that you need only one person to change the whole world, the whole universe, the whole galaxy, the whole universe. You don't need more than one person. So there is so much we can do every day. So for example, in England, I don't know other part of the world, but in England, they now open up again, you know, clinics open up, restaurant open up, everything open up. You have to just wear a mask, but everything's got to open up again. And so I'm a practitioner. I'm treating people. So what I can do in my side. So now they open up the clinic. So I offered my two boss on my two clinics, if I can plasmatize their clinic. They said yes, and this is also is very interesting, because if I would have asked the same question before the pandemic, they would be super against it, because they never believed to how the universe works, just because they were different, more type of people, no? So, but now, strangely enough, they said to me, Stefania, everything you want to make everyone safer, please do. So now suddenly, and I was very surprised, they gave me the white paper to plasmatize the room. Even so, they even said to me, if you want, I can give you this room where you can make your ganses. Because they felt straight away, because I went there to pick up some documents. And as soon as I spray, just simply spray with the guns like we do every Sunday. So I spray all the clinic, and I spray everywhere I went, just I thought, okay, this is gonna be beneficial so I just gonna do this. But they felt it, they felt the difference, they felt the change. Also, they, unfortunately, like Mr. Keshe said, the Keshe technology, the plasma technology will be known through the fear. Also because they have the fear of infected other or being affected by other, because a clinic, you will have people coming and going, you will have to work on them. Yes, you got all the restrictions that the government tell you to do, but still people start to not trusting the government for different reasons, because some certain things don't adapt, or they feel like the government was not didn't know. Even the government looks like doesn't know what they're doing. So there's this mistrust around, and this wanted to be safe. So suddenly they asked me to, yes, plasmatize all the room, plasmatize everything. Even my clients, because I have some clients who they have now, some clients they have neuro conditions, so I had to see them regularly, even if they want to do anything in their daily life. So there are some people who pray for me to go back to work, but again, I don't want to, put her life in a risk or put other life in a risk. So I introduced them to the plasma technology, to the guns, and they now, strangely enough, I have now all my clients who they really need to see me. They really, really wanted me to teach them how to make the plasma, how to make the guns, cup number 1, cup number 2. And they also, they want to teach them, they want to make them, they want me to teach them application. And even them, before the pandemic, I would not be able to talk about this. They would not be interested about it. But now, suddenly, they are interested. Suddenly, they think that this can be the solution to their problems. So there is so much that each one of us can do in their daily life, like Mario said, to spread whatever they go in line with. So if they go in line with a cup number 1 and cup number 2 and be all plasma technology, they have so many ways to spread this in their daily life. And this is really the right time now. I really feel like it's the right time where naturally people will be more open to, because we're in such a place where no one knows anything anymore. So people now going through feelings, through their guts. So yeah. So just to go back to, I just want to point it out what Mario said was, so this policeman can do a lot, like the nurse. The nurse was bringing in their pocket the guns and giving to the patients, and slowly is in the air, and people, they will notice and they will ask, and like this is very simply we can do a lot, each one of us. I will finish. If anyone of the Universal Council or anyone who listening, or thank you, Mario, if you want to add other things, or Sweta, please do. We nearly reached to the 3 hours, so we can also nicely close as well if no one has got nothing to say, because I'm sure all of you are very busy doing ganses or teaching or spread the ganses. There's a lot of work we all do in the background. So if no one has got more questions, we can also close the meeting. Yeah. And leave it just on the fact, just think, each one of you, what you can do on daily basis to follow everything's in line with, unconditional love or something to help you and help others. Yeah, just finish.
Thank you, Stefania. Unconditional love, of course, always. Thank you, Mario. Thank you, Doug. Thank you, my dear Rick. Thank you, everybody. So, thank you. See you soon.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, that sounds good. I don't think we have any outstanding questions here. There's a couple of comments that are interesting. Maybe I'll read a couple of comments and then we can perhaps end the meeting. From Hassan in the chat, he mentions well, I'll just read what he says here. I'm born in a wealthy family and was always praying to never be in need. And in my 30s, I have been in need for nearly 7 years, and that's where I learned the feeling of being in need and started to improve my giving until my soul brought me a year later to the Keshe Foundation knowledge. When you are able to help yourself and are willing to help the souls who ask, you are serving the Creator and your life becomes better. And this knowledge shows you how to, by giving unconditionally, you are helping yourself to get rid of those negative emotions which bother you and makes you sick. For nearly 5 years now, I've been sticking to this knowledge because it helped first to get rid of the fear, especially the so-called hell. And it taught me to live a more balanced life and learn the real meaning of detachment. I am grateful to Mr. Keshe and proud to be part of the Keshe family. Love you all. So thank you, Hassan, for that. And I got to mention the one from Doug, because Doug works really hard at doing the subtitles and has for many years now. And many people don't know that, but he is extremely dedicated to transcribing. So he mentions subtitling the 9-hour Mount Everest of Knowledge Seekers workshops, the 319th Knowledge Seekers workshop, is a lesson in unconditional love for me. Although it is very important to complete, I still have to take time out for myself and family. Otherwise, I may burn out and stop, maybe permanently. So we have to include ourselves in the unconditional love, and then we may remain balanced and happy. And he says, thank you, Stefania. Then Freed mentions, I remember bullets can be transformed to diamonds, both carbon, as Mr. Keshe explained several years ago. And finally, and regarding Doug's attitude with the aggression and the threatening attitudes, which he does not have coming to his door and since signing the World Peace Treaty and so on, Shweta also agrees. Says, yes, dear Doug, it is so true. I have experienced this as well. So got that. And then finally, we have a simple statement from Doug. Gunpowder to chocolate, weapons systems, silicone chips to after dinner mints or potato chips, transmutation of elements. So there you go. We have a future to look forward to where weapons become good things to eat. Well, we'll see. But in any case, we're definitely moving toward a more peaceful planet. Okay, anything else before we wrap up? I will mention that the Keshe Plasma Reactor Group will be held at 7 a.m. Central European Time on Wednesday, which is 10 p.m. on Tuesday, today, and on Pacific time, that is. And I welcome people. I host that group, and I welcome anyone who would like to bring something in, such as their One Cup, One Life replications or any other experiments that you're working on, or if you have questions or other topics you'd like to discuss, then that's a good place to bring that kind of action. And see, I think that's all for now. And we do look forward to the Knowledge Seekers Workshop, of course, coming up Thursday at 9 a.m. Central European Time. Okay, thanks everyone. This has been the 128th One Nation, One Planet, One Race for World Peace for Tuesday, July 28th, 2020. And I thank everyone for attending, and of course the Universal Council for organizing and running these workshops. Okay, bye for now. We'll end the session.
Thank you. Thank you all. Bye.